It's been a few weeks and we've put Dreame X50 Master through every cleaning challenge we can think of. Carpets, hard floors, pet hair, random messes, and of course, all the AI features it claims to have. Some things really impressed us, others not so much. To make things fair, we tested in different settings. Vacuum alone, mopping alone, using the CleanGenius feature, which lets the vacuum think about how it's going to clean your home and then decide for itself. And lastly, we tested with just simple custom clean mode. The first thing I've noticed how eerily quiet it is while mapping out the house. Within minutes, it builds a detailed floor plan, recognizing room divisions, furniture, and even low-laying areas. I have my gripe with the low-laying areas, but we'll explain this in its own section. The noise level naturally increased when there was actual vacuum involved, but even on max intensity it was not crazy loud. That said, crossing raised thresholds is a bit loud. When it extends its support legs to climb over higher transitions, there is a notable buzzing sound, followed by another as the leg retracts. It's not a deal breaker, but worth keeping in mind if your home has multiple floor height changes. And can we just take a moment and marvel at the engineering behind this little device? Seeing a robot vacuum extend its legs, lift itself up and comfortably tackle an obstacle is strangely satisfying. It's like a warhorse rearing up before charging into battle. It handles obstacles up to 4 centimeters with ease, smoothly transitioning between rooms like crossing over our sliding door rail. However, when faced with the higher ledges of up to about 6 centimeters, it failed. The manual indicates it can do 6 centimeters in 2 steps rather than one big gallop. Once the mapping is complete, the customization options are quite extensive. You can name the rooms, set the no-go zones, add virtual furniture to refine navigation, and even specify floor materials to ensure it treats your pristine Brazilian walnut flooring with care. Now let's talk about cleaning performance. On hardwood and tile, it did really well, picking up fine dust, crumbs, and loose pet hair with no problems. The larger particles boost feature kicked in as expected, cranking up the suction when it detected heavier debris like cat litter. The side brush spins at a slower speed, effectively sweeping up all the debris without scattering across the floor. For carpets, you can select the cleaning method that best fits your particular situation. If you're set to have one carpet between 2 rooms, vacuum will do 2-room carpet cleaning first, and then proceed with the rest of the cleaning, which is quite nice, because it does not need to have its mops with it for the task. It's pretty amazing how the robot leaves the mops in the base station, and then when the task is done, returns and picks them up, all without any involvement from us. Now moving to the mopping. The Dreame X50 Master is packed with some clever tricks here, including the auto-lifting mop pads as mentioned earlier, and the extendable mop function, which helps reach into the corners and along the edges. On paper this sounds great, but in real-world use it wasn't always consistent. For example, the gap cleaning mop extension is genuinely a useful feature. It extends further into the corners than most RoboVacs can, in some cases even reaches under the furniture where others wouldn't. However, when the AI-driven SideReach is enabled, it tends to be overly eager to twist its body, reaching further but most of the time just making unnecessary adjustments and don't actually improve coverage. It also struggles with furniture that has an overhanging edge of more than 2.5 centimeters. For example, our kitchen cabinets have 5 centimeter floating edge. It only manages to reach about 1 centimeter in, leaving the rest untouched. It does well if the edge is smaller, so the effectiveness really depends on what kind of furniture you have in the house. The moisture levels are another thing worth noting. On the default settings, the floor is left damp, not wet, which is great if you want to avoid any streaks or watermarks. But if you're dealing with something sticky, you might need to increase the water output manually. There's also pet-friendly mopping mode, which reduces the water usage to minimize allergens. After completing the cleaning cycle, it automatically returns to the dog to wash its mop pads, and the process is impressively quiet, a great feature if you prefer overnight cleaning. The self-emptying function is naturally a great convenience, and having plumbed up water supply makes the maintenance even easier. It offers several customization options, including detergent-based washing, hot water cycle, and UV sterilization for extra hygiene. This was a major pain point with our older units, where the mops would start to smell over time, forcing us to swap them out after every session. With this system so far, no issues at all, a huge improvement in the long-term usability. Maintenance is also minimal, with filter cleaning in the base station being the only regular task required. It even takes care of itself further with auto clean function for the washboard base, making it one of the most hands-off systems available. I did notice that there are some hairs tangled up, so it's not completely maintenance free. But with the ability to go up and down different levels, it's pretty close to be left as is for a very long time to do its work. One of the biggest selling points of this unit is the AI-driven navigation. And to be fair, when it works really well. It remembers obstacle locations, avoids pitfalls, and doesn't get caught up on the chair legs like some of the other units. However, throughout our testing, we did encounter some strange issues. At one point, during spot cleaning, he accurately mopped the space under the bed, but then confidently wandered into the hallway, still convinced it was in the bedroom. Another time, while vacuuming pet pellets, he paused, cleaned parts of the mess, returned to wash its mop, and then completely ignored the remaining debris for the rest of the cycle. This kind of behavior popped up in various situations. He seems to misidentify certain objects as obstacles, and instead of attempting to clean around them, he simply avoids them altogether. It's one of those cases where the AI feels too cautious. While being better than smearing a mess across the floor, it also means that you still have to manually clean up after it. This happened a few times with cat fur that was rolled up by the ceiling fans. He kept recognizing it as uncleanable stain and suggested me to clean it up in time to ensure a healthy home environment. How cheeky of him. It's not exactly ideal for pet owners who expect a vacuum to clean up the fur, not sidestep it, as long as it's only a fur, of course. The same goes for the CleanGenius feature, which allows the vacuum to determine the best cleaning strategy. It feels like there is too much smart thinking involved. It takes much longer to clean, and not always it comes to the right conclusion about things that it sees. While it does a good job at revisiting missed areas, it tends to overcomplicate the process, making the vacuum take unnecessary detours and second guess its path. So after trying it out a bunch of times, we'll switch to using custom clean mode. Same goes for the AI features. After a while, we turned off most of them. Mostly because our cat is a well-behaved boy who only does his business in the box, so we have less of a risk here. But also, after making the changes, cleaning became a lot faster. Another part of why cleaning takes longer than the other vacuums is the adjustable Lidar sensor and detecting low-lying areas. The adjustability is there because the whole unit is taller, allowing extra space to lift the mops at the back. However, the improvement comes with a trade-off. It now has to detect the low clearance areas and automatically adjust its sensor to duck under them. While this sounds great in theory, in practice, even with extreme coverage mode enabled, it remains overly cautious, which slows down the navigation. To work around this, we've manually marked all the areas lower than 12 cm as low clearance zones, ensuring the sensor only adjusts when necessary, rather than hesitating in spaces where we already know it can fit. For example, the cupboard behind my desk is low enough to require the sensor to be lower, but instead of confidently navigating in space, it hesitates, zigzagging in, backing out, reassessing itself, and then repeating the whole process. In contrast, our older yet lower units would simply enter, clean, and move on without any unnecessary back and forth. But unlike our previous robot, the battery on the X50 is one of the highlights. Just to give you an example, this cleaning session where it covered 64 square meters in 126 minutes, all while pausing 7 times to go for mop washing and using fill lights in darker areas. Despite the extended runtime and frequent stops, at the end of the cycle it still had some battery remaining. Our previous robot couldn't clean the whole house in one go, so this is a very useful change. A feature that quickly became one of our favorites is the voice command system. Unlike Google Assistant, which often lags and somehow always misunderstands my wife's requests, the Dreame X50 Master is incredibly responsive, and most importantly, has yet to frustrate my wife. As long as you know the available commands, it executes them instantly. There's something very satisfying about simply saying clean the kitchen after a long session of meal prep and watching it get to work straight away. Okay, Dreame.
I'm here.
Clean the kitchen.
Okay, start to clean the kitchen. Make sure the door is open.
Overall, the Dreame X50 Master delivers a strong cleaning performance, smart automation, and minimal maintenance, making it a solid choice for hands-off cleaning. Its vacuum and mopping work well, and automatic mop handling is a standout feature. However, the AI can be overly cautious, sometimes misidentifying obstacles and hesitating when it shouldn't. While this prevents accidents, it can also slow things down. Would I actually recommend it? Yes, but fine-tuning the settings is the key on getting the best experience. What do you guys think? What's the biggest factor for you when getting a robot vacuum? suction power, mopping ability, AI features, low maintenance, or something completely different? Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. If you think this robot might be what you need, check out the link in the description below for more details. And as always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.